Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I want to thank, of course, Marcy Roth and Administrator Fugate for inviting me here today and for holding this very important conference. I had the privilege of speaking at FEMA. It's a private sector conference last month. Like this one, that conference brought people together to facilitate the exchange of ideas and best practices, which is so important because it is truly does take the efforts of the whole community to ensure effective preparedness and response. On a personal note, as a person with a disability myself, I greatly appreciate all your efforts to ensure the needs of individuals with disabilities and functional needs are met. I'm glad you are here. You're all here to share your promising practices. I hope that the dialogue you're having this week will continue long after this conference has ended, and I'm sure it will. As you know, this month is National Preparedness Month. As we continue to work to enhance our preparedness, it is also a time to reflect on the progress we've made and the challenges we continue to face. Just over 6 years ago, during Hurricane Katrina, we witnessed the terrible things that happen when we don't plan and prepare for the whole community. When we weren't inclusive of individuals with disabilities and functional needs. I'm pleased that we have made great strides since then, whether it be through accessible alerts and warnings and sheltering, or in our ability to bring together the emergency management and response community and disability advocates such as yourselves and service providers to ensure our efforts do serve the whole community. FEMA's response capabilities have greatly improved. Today's FEMA is far more nimble and forward-leaning. In fact, its response to the many disasters our nation has experienced this year, including the devastating tornadoes this past spring, and more recently, the Hurricane Irene and flooding in the Northeast, has received, of course, it's received, as far as I'm concerned, very favorable reviews so far. Well, this is positive news. We all know that challenges remain. More than half of the respondents to a recent survey by Columbia University National Center for Disaster Preparedness stated that they don't have an emergency plan. Isn't that something? Of those that do have plans, many admitted that they don't have the necessary items for an emergency kit. And we saw during the Hurricane Irene, that while most people heeded the calls to evacuate, there are some who still decided to ignore the warnings and ride out the storm. And unfortunately, those who ignored the warnings got media exposure, which I don't think is a good thing. This makes it more difficult for emergency management officials and first responders to focus their efforts on those who need assistance most, frequently those on whose behalf, of course, you advocate for. So we clearly have to work harder, and we have a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm here to help you. The good news is that you have a tireless advocate at FEMA in Marcy Roth, and of course her colleagues at FEMA's region. As a matter of fact, I work with Administrator Fugate in Florida, and I know how good he is. And of course, you have a great advocate in Administrator Fugate and Deputy Administrator Serino, who really take the whole community approach to emergency management to heart. I hope you will consider me, of course, and my staff as a resource to you, as well as you continue your efforts for inclusive emergency preparedness and response practices. Next month, as you know, marks the 5th anniversary of the enactment of the Post-Katrina Emergency Management Reform Act. As a follow-up to a hearing we held earlier this year with state and local first responders, in my district in this great city of Clearwater. My subcommittee will be holding a hearing in Washington, D.C. with Administrator Fugate, and he will, of course, testify. This hearing will assess the progress FEMA and its partners have made and the work we will still need to do, along with the consideration of new authorities that might be necessary. Of course, I welcome your input on this assessment as well. Working together, we will ensure that emergency preparedness and response capabilities are robust, effective, and inclusive. And again, I have a personal disability, and I deal with it every day. I struggle with it every day. So this is very close to my heart. So I want to continue to work with you. And again, y'all done an outstanding job, but we have more work to do. Thank you, and God bless you.